Hello and welcome to the Thursday, May 22nd, 2025 edition of the SANS Internet Storm Center's Stormcast. My name is Johannes Ulrich, and in this episode brought to you by the SANS.edu Credit Certificate Program in Cybersecurity Engineering, I am recording in Jacksonville, Florida. Well, remember a few weeks ago, we had these scammers that actually left comments on the Internet Storm Center YouTube channel that listed their private passphrase for their crypto coin wallets. And well, we looked into this, and the reason they did this was not to give you the money. That would have been too easy and not much of a scam. But instead, the way these crypto wallets were set up, they needed a second passphrase in order to actually work and for you to be able to deduct money from them. So they try to trick you into actually sending the money for the transaction fee ahead of realizing that you can't actually get to the money. Well, it looks like we have a little bit an evolution of this scam happening now. I've observed it on X, where via direct message, someone approached me and told me that, hey, you actually got some money from me coming here. And then they gave me the username and password to actually log into their account. And these credentials work on this very specific website. The problem, of course, with this is that, well, it's not so easy to actually get to the money from that website. This website, I'm not familiar with it. I doubt it's legit, but doesn't really look all that confidence building. Once you're trying to actually then withdraw the money from the account, you're prompted with, well, the next challenge that in order to actually withdraw the money, you need to know a key password. And of course, you don't have that key password, but there is a solution. All you have to do is you have to set up a new account with that website, and then you're able to transfer instead of withdraw the money, which, according to the help that's being delivered here, does not require the key. Okay, so I set up an account, and what I got next was that I was still not able to transfer the money without first signing up for a VIP account, which, costs, of course, money. The smallest account they have is $50, but with that, you can only transfer $30 a month, so that doesn't really get you a good return on investment. Here, actually, negative return on investment. You have to sort of get at least $1,000 invested here in order to get sort of to a positive return of investment on the first month. Or if you want to actually get your money back in a day, then you need to invest $3,000. So that's the trick here. I assume that the website is then just, well, grabbing the money and you're still not getting anything out of it. Maybe with the $50 account, you can actually get $10 back. Sort of a little bit that building confidence. That's sort of what a lot of time these confidence scams are about. Anyway, if anybody has any more insight into this scam, let me know. But looks to me like they basically want you to trick you into signing up for one of these VIP accounts, promising that you would be able to steal that money and then again, sort of playing on the victim's greed. And we got a couple of stories related to fake extensions. First one, Chrome extensions. Domain Tools wrote an article summarizing some of the work they have done recently, getting rid of some of these malicious Chrome extensions. These extensions claim to be VPNs and crypto coin tools and similar things. And at the surface, at first, they look like they actually function. The problem is that in addition to providing some more or less valid functionality, they're also going to steal all your data. And remember that any Chrome extension that you install typically has access to everything you are doing in Chrome. So that way they can have access to session tokens, usernames, passwords, anything you enter, anything you view in your browser. is typically available to these extensions. Your best defense against this is that you probably should just limit the number of extensions that you are using in your browser, be it Chrome or another browser, of course, with Chrome being the biggest one out there. And Datadog Security Labs identified, well, again, malicious extensions, but this time in Visual Studio Code. Of course, if you're using Visual Studio Code as an editor for your programming tasks, well, in that case, these extensions, just like extensions in a browser, have access to everything in a browser. These extensions have access to everything you do in your code editor. And then, of course, it can become a big problem. In this particular case, the extension will then exfiltrate data from your system. It's essentially an info stealer, and the extensions that Datadog Security found appear to be targeting crypto coin developers based on the naming scheme and also based on the data they're trying to exfiltrate. Just like with browser extensions, be careful what you install and try to minimize the number of extensions that you have installed. Well, and that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.